For anybody who's ever watched Star Wars before, you should know that Darth Vader plays an extremely big role in the franchise, pretty much as the franchise's main antagonist and villain. He's a very iconic villain from across the galaxy in his and ours, whether it was a long time ago or in a galaxy far, far away. Everybody knows his name, formerly known as Anakin Skywalker, turned evil and to the dark side of the Force. And I've been also seeing in the past couple of days that people are really not in support of the flock camera system. And when I was first hearing about it, which this is my first time hearing about it, I maybe heard the word a couple of times before, but never really took time to research or actually look up what it is even about. So I actually took a little bit of time to do that. And if you didn't know, flock cameras are an automated license plate reader. They capture passing vehicles, log specific details about them like make, model, color, and license plate details, and store the data, in a searchable database that is used by law enforcement to track certain cars and whatnot. And usually, depending on who the car is owned by, they're able to track that person because, well, that's who it belongs to. So it really does make law enforcement's job a little bit easier, I'd say, if they're doing a specific investigation and they just happen to catch that specific person they're looking for in the flock camera. It does make their job significantly easier. And I know there's been some controversy about it. There's a lot of people who are in favor of the flock camera system, and there's quite a few people who are not in favor of the flock camera system. But today I'm talking about Darth Vader and the flock camera system because I saw a pretty goofy video of Darth Vader himself coming fresh off the Death Star's death to attend a San Diego City Council meeting and defend the flock camera system there in person.
The Emperor is a fan of flock, and we must continue utilizing flock technologies so that we can follow and surveil the rebel scum as they move from playground to playground, from playground to pool, from pool to gymnasium, because we all know that the flock cameras are not only following the license plate readers, they are following children. They are following children in parks and gymnasiums, and we need this. I need this so I can stalk my ex-girlfriend.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm convinced that was the real Darth Vader. I mean, look at this guy. This guy is definitely 100% the real Darth. I don't think I've ever seen anyone quite like him before. It's really majestic to just see him in person. Fresh off of telling Luke that he's his dad, and really just getting in there and letting people know that he really needs the flock system to stalk his ex-girlfriend. That's just majestic. It really is majestic. I like that Darth Vader has really taken a shine to our own personal little politics here in a galaxy far, far away from where he usually is at. And usually he'd want to destroy the plans on Alderaan and succeed. Unfortunately, though, his Death Star was destroyed, so he had to come here. He probably had to come and make some repairs here at a local paint shop. And the rebels were probably on his tail, full 5 stars, and he's like, well, I need these flock cameras to track their movements. We need to get these rebel scum. And, I'm actually having a hard time trying to decipher who the rebel scum is here in the situation. Obviously, I'm just joking. This guy's not the real Darth Vader. But I actually am having a hard time trying to decipher who the rebel scum is he's talking about. Because as far as I know, criminals are scum. Therefore, they're criminals. But usually, the Empire's the bad guys. So the rebels are usually fighting for the safety of the galaxy. So I don't understand what he's meaning, or I don't know who he's trying to go after. I know he's really trying to stalk his ex-girlfriend. That's a very practical use of the flock camera system. It's definitely a 5 out of 5 stars would recommend system using. And that's also another thing people were upset about, misuse of the flock camera system, because this is some pretty delicate stuff. This could literally bring up details about a person you never knew, just by them happen to be passing by the camera, and it scans their license plate and you literally have the full make, model, color, and license plate of their car. You can pretty much track whoever is in that car, their name and where they live, depending on law enforcement. That can really raise some red flags, and that's what some of the people, in fact a lot of the people who are against the flock camera system, are really talking about, because it violates privacy in their eyes. And I'm not really on any side here. I couldn't give a crap, but that's how some people feel, and I can empathize with them to some degree. They're being watched all the time, even when driving, dude. Like I can understand where they're coming from. Driving is, like, for some people, the one free place where they're just able to be themselves and do and say whatever they need to say, because they're in the safety of their own car. Why would they want to be watched as they're driving? It's just I can understand why people would be mad about that.
Also, it should be known that the people of this town, the pools that want their storm drains cleared, they should not have their storm drains cleared. Because in order to do that, we will have to raise taxes. And how will the people trust this city council when this city council continues to vote for surveillance technology that imprisons them?
Now, when watching the video before I was talking about it, I was actually a little confused, because it sounded to me like he was really in favor of the flock camera security system. And then he went on to say that, about how the city council, how can we trust you if you continue to vote for the surveillance system? So that, maybe I'm just dumb or something, but that really, messed my thought process up a bit, because wasn't he just praising the fact that these things exist? Maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe I'm just too stupid to understand. I don't know. Like, again, I don't really know too much about the flock security system, so I couldn't understand what this guy was talking about in this specific moment.
Miss Campbell, you must work on your Jedi mind tricks. Do it like this. And when you do it, make sure that when you're double speaking them into telling them that police services have become more humanitarian, make sure that you don't emphasize the detail that you put a ban on camping. You made criminalizing homelessness illegal, and that is why there is no such thing as humanitarian policing for the homeless, because we have effectively criminalized homelessness, which is good. Now we can fill our jails with free prison labor, especially like that of the Otay Mason Detention Center, where they are making $1 a day for working for 12 hours. And there have been multiple cases of tuberculosis. Yes, and this is good. This is what the Emperor needs. This technology will help us find the rebel scum and their hidden base on Hoth. This technology will help us find Luke Skywalker as he traverses the universe in his X-Wing. This technology is a necessary force.
There's a tear running down my cheek and a tear running down my leg as I say this. Brother, this might be the real Darth Vader. I don't know what to say. This guy is really, talked about the Jedi mind tricks of the city council people. Brother, this guy is in defense of the city flock camera system. Obviously, he needs to locate that rebel scum, destroy their base on Hoth, and kill Luke Skywalker as he's traversing the universe in his X-Wing. And obviously, he went into detail about a bunch of other problems that San Diego has. Like, I'm not from San Diego, so I don't know a majority of the problems that they have there. I don't know. He was talking about, raising taxes to help people clean out their gutters and homelessness and whatnot. And then he talked about imprisonment, making less than minimum wage for working extremely hard hours. I don't really know too much about that stuff because I'm not from San Diego. Not to say that it's not useful information to learn, because it definitely is. It's some good information to learn, but it just doesn't really apply to me, as again, I'm not from that city. So I don't really know what that guy's talking about too much. But yeah, no, I'm fully convinced that this guy's fully 100% the real Darth Vader. Let's just take a look at him one more time. How can this not be the real Darth Vader? Look at his helmet, dude. Look at his chest plate. Look at this robe that he's in. This is 100% made from the dark side, dude. This guy is the real Darth Vader. I don't know what to say. He took a stop off of his Death Star and had to hop here in the San Diego City Council office, and now he's gonna go back to hunting Luke Skywalker. This is apparently to him a very necessary thing for people to have, for the city to have. So I guess he really likes flock cameras. He needs to have surveillance on the universe so that he can destroy it and convert everyone to the dark side. Or I don't even know what he was trying to do. I completely forgot. Honestly, I haven't seen those movies in a long time. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this today because it's very goofy. You know, it's not every day that somebody actually comes here dressed like Darth Vader or like to a city council meeting at all. As you can see, there's only like 3 people attending. Like they're not very interesting things to talk about. More or less, people don't really even care that much. They just want to get on with their lives. As you can see, there's some people in the background that are not in favor of the flock camera system, which is fine. You know, everybody has their own personal opinions and everything, so it's cool. And I just wanted to say this because this is a very goofy case right here. You know, this is the one thing that might actually make these meetings interesting. And I'm glad that the people who were in charge, the city councilman, didn't interrupt or try and remove him forcefully, because that just wouldn't have been cool. Like, he spoke his mind, even using those Sith dark side mind tricks. He was talking about using Jedi mind tricks. He was using his own mind tricks, and I'm glad they let him speak, you know, his mind, because that's all it is. It's his opinion. So good on them for letting him get through his whole spiel, and the world will keep on spinning. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this to you. This is pretty goofy. I thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, if you watched so far into this video, thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and I will catch you guys in the next one.